Hi.
Hi.
I miss you, friend.
Listen, the minute we get out of here, we gonna have some type of we're gonna have to go to Vegas, all of us, do a big party, private party.
Vegas, Miami, whichever one of our spots we need to go chill at, I'm down.
Okay, so I have my tea with ginger, lemon, mint, honey. I have my water, new brand, but nonetheless it's still water.
Very good.
My anxiety is still high. And I've talked to you, I've talked to Ayanna Van Zandt and Devon Franklin, and I'm still stressed. And I think it's because, like Devon said yesterday, I'm used to being in control of everything, and right now we're not in control.
But can you imagine how we feel in the medical field? Like, we fix everything, we get it done, we keep it moving, we make everybody feel better. And now we're looking at ourselves like, this is all we got, this is all we can do, you know? So I understand.
Shout out to all the medical professionals out there who are, you all are like Superman and Wonder Woman at this point.
Yeah, we talk every day. We get together. We do all that we can. You know, it's a lot of stuff that's out of our control, and then the stuff that's in our control, that's the stuff we have to focus on. And I just try to I'm motivating and putting together all my team of doctors when I can talk to them about it the same way. Like, we have to just keep encouraging each other and inspiring each other to bring the best out of us, because not only do we have to go and work in that setting, we also have to come back home and be in the setting of, managing our homes and families. So that's a little bit much. I'm just reminding my guys, my team of doctors, are you guys doing all the proper stuff to take care of yourself?
Yeah.
Going down, asking about vitamins, asking about, supplements, DMAs. Are they taking time to get the proper rest? Because it's challenging. It's challenging.
Yeah, I just took all my supplements and all my I had my CMOS this morning. I've had my vitamins.
I'm behind, so excuse me. I usually have this done like first thing in the morning, but I had some work stuff to do. So, there's a difference between a tablespoon and a teaspoon.
Right. You're doing teaspoons, right?
No, I'm not. It says tablespoon, biggest day on it.
Oh, I've been doing teaspoons.
No, so you need to turn it up a little bit more and then take a little bit more. All right.
Okay, so I know you hate numbers, but I'm going to go over numbers really quick. So there's 555,000 cases around the world. And what I don't understand is, how has the United States become the leader in cases of this pandemic?
That happened yesterday. Yesterday was a day that we knew it was going to get worse, right? We've already understood that it's going to get worse before it gets better. We talked about these next 2 weeks. Every Friday, I like to do a little bit of internal celebration because we made it through a full week, but there's a lot of people out there who are not doing well. So we see the numbers climbing, but we're not surprised. We just hope that we continue to keep doing things like what you're doing, to share and spread good information so that we can do our best to control what we can control.
Right.
So all the states, because the government is not mandating it state to state, so everybody within the state has to make up what their plan is. And so I was disappointed to see, I think yesterday it was 22 states only that have mandated the stay home, order. So where's everybody else at? Why is there a rise? And what did you say with Memorial Weekend plans and things like that still happening? It's like, come on, we have to really focus in a little bit more. So
right. Is there any news on this new virus that they're saying exists?
A new virus?
Yeah. We wrote about a new virus out of Japan. Have you heard about it?
I have not. I'm kind of focusing on what I have in front of me and what we can control. What do you know? Teach me something.
No, I don't know. It's just somebody that said somebody on a bus or something in China caught a new virus.
Oh, really? Well, there's going to be so many more. This is not the first of the coronaviruses. This is just the one that's really kind of done a lot, made a few turns that we're unexpected. So that's kind of happening early, and then now where we're at, we have to deal with what we're dealing with, and it's just disheartening. At the same time, we can still make it through, and I'm having the hope and the faith that we will make it through, because that's what God has put us here for. So we're gonna figure it out. But about a new thing, no.
So I bought a commercial sized treadmill, and it's in my apartment. It's huge, but I'm gonna be on that bitch.
You haven't got on it yet?
I just got it yesterday. I'm gonna get on it after this. I have a few emails to do, and then I'm gonna be on that because I'm my stress level. I feel like if I work out, hopefully I'll work some of that stress off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but I honestly feel better about being a little bit more consistent with the things that I try to preach and share with everyone. I'm more focused on taking my vitamins, my supplements. I'm drinking more water. I have a few pounds off. You know, I was working. I stood on the scale just to see how I was looking for the pound side, and I'm doing good. So I just expect that everyone holds themselves accountable to feeling good internally first, and then trying to figure out what we got to do. You can't keep taking on all the stresses, Jason. You're doing everything that you can. I mean,
Yeah.
you saved thousands of lives already, and you don't know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Creating this platform because, as we see, there's not a lot of resources that are meaningful that people can really understand, especially our age.
Well, I'm also hosting an online party for the LGBT community tonight. So I'm about to post that flyer. We're figuring out ways of getting people to stay inside, and then we have just different. I talked to different people yesterday who have a lot of influence who have agreed to go live with this whole stay home campaign. So we're gonna launch the Quarantine Chronicles, the Stay Your Ass at Home campaign on tomorrow, I think.
Good. That's what I mean. Like, when are you going to celebrate those moments that you're doing right now? Like, that's huge. I'm just
Yeah.
looking at what everybody's talking about and everybody's communicating and so many different lives going on, but I haven't quite seen anything like this that's consistently updating and talking about, you know, what we're talking about right now. So good for you. Keep going. Keep doing.
All right, so if people have questions, go ahead and submit your questions, and then they'll pop up on the screen. Now, somebody had said that we can't take the CMOS and all of the vitamins together at the same time. Is that true? Because it hasn't been bothering my stomach.
Well, I like the sea moss on an empty stomach, and
Okay.
have the amount of time that we have now that we can kind of plan it out a little bit better. So we should. Today is the latest that I've taken mine because I just have my routine of getting it done. You do want to, you know, some vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D. I take those in the morning already at the same time. But then there's some of those supplements that do a little bit better when they're absorbed. So you want to just, you know, if you can space it out, space it out. Turmeric, vitamin D for me is my morning before all of this happens. And then I go into everything else as I hydrate. So pop 10 in your mouth and go. You know what I mean? Like, have a little bit of a plan. I want everyone to do more research. You know, just because you and I talk and you listen to what I say, and we've had our friendship and relationship for a little while now, it makes sense for us to understand that you know that I know what I'm talking about. However, I'm not telling everybody that they need to have to do these things. I'm just sharing the knowledge and the research that I've, you know, embarked on since we started, and since we've been working and being in the medical field for 20 plus years now, what makes sense for me to keep moving and feeling good. So I just encourage everyone to research. Don't just take the 10 things that I say or, you know, just throw them back. Like, spend some time, understand when. Everybody uses Google and research it and see what's good for you and when you should and how long you should be taking it and how much you should take as well. If you have questions like this, to me directly.
Yeah, so somebody's asking, where do you get the CMOS from? I mean, I know there's a delivery system here in LA, but do they mail it?
Jasiri Life, that's where I get most of my CMOS from. I also tried Bianca today. I think you know Bianca from the team. You know, I order my I'll send a message on that, but it's Jasiri Life she's from LA. If you live here, she ships it out. It's kind of worked good for us because we were able to deliver it. Now, not much, but you can still order it through her website and through the direct message you could send her. So I'll post that again. It's actually on my page already where you can get my CMOS from.
So this question I get asked every day, and this is a question I swear I'm asking myself. And you know, I tend to think I'm a really strong person, which I am. I know that personally I'm going through, this is me just being honest, I think I'm going through withdrawals from touching another human being. You know, like I think some people need affection or like affection, or like when you get into a routine of being able to just go out hugging people or hugging somebody, And so people want to know, when is this going to, how long is it going to last? I mean, is there any sign that the curve is flattening?
We don't know. That's the hardest part, is that we don't have, we see different trends and signs. We're doing research, we're seeing the numbers, but we don't know how long this will last. I know we heard what the president talked about a few days ago. I don't listen to what he has to say, but we really can't control or know how long this will last. So we just have to continue to be prepared and, to really attack what we can as we can. And that's an everyday thing. And then hopefully when everything does flatten out and we see these numbers change, we would have created a better lifestyle for ourselves. So I'm kind of more out of the like, oh my gosh, this is happening. I'm more into like, okay, what am I going to do to get myself feeling better? We talked about the spiritual side, the physical health, and the mental health. And I'm just trying to create a balance. And that's all that we can do. We can't, hopefully it's going to go away tomorrow.
Yeah.
At the same time, we're hopeful and prayerful about those things that we can't. There's still not enough information. We're finding out new stuff every day still. So it's going to be a little bit of time. I can't put it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just an unfair question. There's no date on it. I was watching Trevor Noah today, and he was talking.
Like, how long are we really about to be sitting in this house? How much more time do I need to put in? It's like, that's a good question, but we don't have answers for that yet.
I was watching a conversation with Trevor Noah and the guy who's working with Trump. I can't believe Trump is our president. Like, that's the other thing. Like, when you're a kid, you look to your parents or whoever's leading your family, your father, to kind of guide you. And then, when you're an employee, you look to your employer to know what they're doing. And then you look at our country right now, and it's just like, I don't know who's leading who.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. I say we need to pray more for him. And he needs help. And every day I'm like, is he going to say, okay, I've had enough with this. You guys figure it out yourself. It's like, I have for years now. But every now and then I always say, bless his heart. People are like, why you say that? We're so mad at him. It's like, yeah, we are. But how long are we going to just keep saying all the things that he is saying is wrong? It's like, prayer. when you get with Iyanla, tell her that,
Oh, Ayama had a message that I think is going to make a lot of people, it's going to start a conversation. So, okay. So do you think the summer heat will kill it? Like, because LA typically, or California typically, has hot weather. So for states that like a Miami or LA, once the summer comes around and we have that long patch of heat, will that help?
That helps. We do see that heat kills the virus. All forms of heat, whether it's water, whether it's the sun, we've been told that if you after you take your clothes off and you put them outside, the sun helps to kill that. It's been a little windy in LA, but it's also kind of changed and had rain. I sit out in the sun as much as I can to get that vitamin D part. But yeah, I'm hopeful, and I've been hearing, and we've done the research now that's looking at the summer as, being a better time for us, where the virus won't survive there. So I'm rolling with that. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, somebody just asked a question like, what about in Jamaica or places where there is heat and these cases are popping up?
Right. That's interesting to me as well. It's like, okay, they're saying that the heat kills internally, and then we have to deal with the external heat. And there's other states and countries that have heat right now. So it would be interesting for us to look at those numbers and see where those countries are at that have that extreme heat. I haven't done that research in particular, but that's something that I would want to look at and see moving forward. Are these numbers down, or is it low, or is it, where the curve sits at for them? That would
all the countries with heat are really low. Like, I'm looking at the list right now, and okay. Jamaica has 1 deceased and 26 cases.
See? Yeah. My sister-in-law, she's from Belize, and the same thing happened over there. There was like 1 case, and it recovered at the time when I was looking at that.
Belize has 2 cases and 0 have died.
Yeah. See? So There's
But
hope.
is that because they're not testing or because they don't have it?
We don't know that part, right? But I mean, hopefully they are testing and they have enough, but we're not sure about it. But that sounds good either way. I mean, if they're able to control it, and then who's coming in and out, there's not a lot of travel happening. You Yesterday we were talking, you had my mind going because you were talking about Thailand and looking up trips to Thailand. It's like that's where I plan to be at this point right now, but not happening yet.
Yeah, I mean, the Congo has 0 dead, only 4 cases. So all the African countries are really low.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Let's keep paying attention to that. Those are positives that we can just keep tracking and watching, and then hopefully it kind of moves into that same frame for us. I'm hopeful for that.
So do you think that they'll find a cure for it eventually?
Well, a cure versus a vaccination versus just us coping with understanding that it's possible that we have it soon, and our bodies being able to be immune to it. Yeah, I think that we have enough brilliant brains out there that we can put together the proper cure and proper, vaccination for it. A lot of the viruses, from my understanding, it's really difficult to say that we can find a cure for these viruses that are out. But it just takes time and research and really just case studies that we can put together to show, exactly how we will be able to control it and help everyone move forward with it.
So we didn't start with an introduction. Do you want to tell people what you do for those that just logged in?
Sure. I'm Courtney Watson. I am in my last class of my doctorate of athletic training program. I'm the head trainer for the Los Angeles Sparks. This is my 13th season, director of sports medicine for them. I work closely with Cedars-Sinai Curlin Jobe Medical Center, which is one of the biggest sports medicine companies in the world. And then I also work with Pacific Medical Group, is the group of doctors that really help with research and applying the proper skills and training for young adults and people to really kind of understand the medical side. Work with a lot of close doctors from family practice. I also am the head trainer for one of the USA National Basketball 3-on-3 teams. So had a lot of great resources in my life, and just thankful for the opportunities that I get to help share and heal injuries and illnesses with, a big variety of people around the world. So, me from a different source.
And she's a part of the money team. So when we travel and we start to have a sniffle or a cough, and we think we're dying, we call Courtney so we could stay alive. But what I love about you too is that you keep a good outlook on things. Like when everybody gets sick, for us that aren't professionals, just regular people, we feel like the world is crumbling. Like I have many ways to. I feel blessed in many ways. I'm financially, I'm fine. My team, I haven't had to lay anybody off. We have more work than we did before. I was able to buy a treadmill for my house. I do have the food and stuff that we need. I got enough toilet paper and water. But I think it's just the not knowing, the not being in control of, the disruption. And so, as much as there's the physical health, there's the mental health too, the social health. Like find ways of, setting a routine, getting up. Devon talked about creating a journal, writing down all the thoughts and notes and questions and plans. Reach out to people that you haven't talked to in a while, just be productive, basically. Stay busy.
Be productive. Absolutely. Again, I just am in the situation that is all the knowledge, and you and I have been talking for over, just about this coronavirus for almost a month now, and, probably 2 weeks or so before it really got to this magnitude. And so, like I said, I'm thankful to get the information and to be able to share it, and also to filter the information. And I think that's what's most important, is that we need a sounding base and a ground for us to be able to filter the proper information. And it's like focus on the things that we can control and what we can't control. And I think that's what I do well, whether it be for the money team or for the Sparks or for Court's Corner or for USA Basketball, the things that I'm blessed to be able to do. I just get so much knowledge from all of my medical mentors and professionals that have been, doing this a lot longer than I have. But it's about 21 years for me in the medical field. And each year I learn so much, I grow so much, and just thankful for all the opportunities and, you know, being able to share. So it's a cool
Now,
platform.
does Advil or ibuprofen have an adverse effect?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Advil and ibuprofen, does it have an adverse effect?
The phone messed up. You said Advil and ibuprofen?
Yeah.
Yes, reading that, the research from that has been showing that Advil, ibuprofen has almost heightened some of those symptoms. So what we're telling everyone from the offices that we're working with is Tylenol is all that you really need if you're going to be taking something. And, you know, treat each symptom for what it is, as if it wasn't the virus, I should say. You know, like if you having sinus issues, take your sinus medication. However, they are saying that the NSAIDs like the Motrin, ibuprofen, the what you just say, Advil, those are some that we should probably stay away from for now.
Okay. Let's see. What other questions we have here? Well, I can say I'm working on getting tested for the antibody. I'm waiting on that, my doctor, to get the test now so she can come here and test me. Because I think I said, like, Meek Mill has talked about it now. I think I had it. I mean, there was a sickness that I had that was so bad. I mean, I had never got it. And so, like I said yesterday, when I went to the doctor, he couldn't diagnose it. He just said it was like a bad flu. And I think so hopefully I can get tested and see if I got it. So what's the difference from a cure versus a vaccination?
A vaccination is something, so, you know, we were just talking about the flu vaccination the other day. It's basically where there's the antibodies that are entered in, that are put into your system for your body to recognize it and be able to fight it before it becomes an infection, basically, if that makes sense. And then the cure is when they actually are, you know, doing something that prevents it from totally happening. So there's two different versions of it. That's a great question as well. And we need to focus on everyone understanding that, because if you have the virus and you go get the vaccination, you know, you are basically putting more in you. So you're going to feel sick. It's really important, I think, for us to do the testing before we even start looking at the vaccination, whether we are already immune to it, whether we have the antibodies or not. That's the difference between a vaccination and a cure. A cure is something that heals it all the way, right? So,
are they making more tests available?
Yeah, they are making more tests available, but it's moving slow. I was a little bit saddened this morning to hear that some of my close doctor offices do not have the proper gowns and medical tools that we need for the testing. That part hurts, you know. I'm like, can we buy some more? You know, I'm like trying to figure out what we can do to have more of the equipment that's necessary in the offices. I know some people are asking about donating, and, you know, there's not a lot to buy. You know, there still needs to be a little bit more supply. And that's the part that's a little disheartening for me. It's like, how can we produce more of these tests and also at the same time the proper equipment to the ventilators and the gowns and masks that the medical professionals are needing a lot more help with.
Right. Okay. So somebody's asking, are vitamin C gummies okay to take? I have both.
I like vitamin C gummies. Yeah, they work. They're fine to take. I mean, just depending on the sugar content that's added to it, right? But I don't take vitamin C. I don't take gummies, but, you know, if that's what your preference is, I don't see a problem with having vitamin C, as long as you're getting the proper amount of them. So each one of those should have, like I said, you should understand how much you need, how much your body needs. That's important to know.
Someone says, can a nebulizer help with some of the breathing troubles that come with COVID-19?
I think so. Again, it's just, you know, I was talking to Dr. McKell this morning again about some of the signs or just the symptoms, and now they've kind of changed things a little bit as we make adjustments to who gets to go and get that care. I think that that's a good idea. It's just a matter of the fact that they have to have those resources as well to get that equipment. So that's what it is. It's a shortage of equipment right now, a shortage of tools that we all need to make sure that we are doing everything in the right way to guide and to organize each category of what that means. So,
and I don't think people understand. I don't think people understand, especially with the shortages of ventilators, that like if you go to a hospital and all the beds in the ICU are full and all the ventilators are used and you need it and there aren't any available, you're fucked.
Yeah. That's hard. Right. Yeah, if there's not a lot. You know, I saw in New York, they were bringing in refrigeration trucks system because there wasn't enough space for the people and the bodies that had passed away from this. So that's hard to watch and that's hard to accept.
Well, what's a ventilator? What is a ventilator? Is that the thing they put in your mouth?
Yeah, that helps you breathe, basically. It's what helps you stay breathing. Mm-hmm.
So right now they have 2,500 ventilators in New York. I just want for people to kind of put this in context, right? They have 2,500 ventilators in New York, and they've asked for 35,000, which sounds crazy, right? But if you have 2,500 ventilators, and say right now, what in New York they have? Let me see how many cases they have. They have 44,000 confirmed cases, 1,500 of 1,600 of which are serious. That means after those 2,500 ventilators run out, everybody else that needs one won't have one.
Yeah.
So people should just stay in the house and let it pass.
Yeah, that's what we have to do. We have to stay in the house, let it pass. Let the people that are having these extreme cases get the treatment that we need. A lot of the doctors that I work with are saying that if you have some of these symptoms, you need to stay home and treat it as if you have this virus and, you know, stay home, put a couple weeks of it, track your, like you said, with the journal, track your symptoms, track how you feel, track what you're eating and what you're doing to feel better. Or if you're still feeling the same, you know, call your doctors, get as many recommendations as you can over the phone versus going in and demanding these tests. And, you know, a lot of times if you get the test, if you're not having a shortness of breath, you know, that's the part that they're looking for right now. Like, can you breathe? If you're having any other things, they're just encouraging everyone to stay in the house. So let's keep practicing that part. Because these numbers, they're hurtful, you know, like I said, from the doctor's standpoint, we can't believe that we can't control that. Like, we're having a hard time accepting it. So some days for us, it's not easy at all, you know what I mean, to listen and to hear those things. You just made me a little bit more sad hearing you say that.
I mean, I know I'm trying not to get caught up in all the information.
I see how you end up waking up and feeling like this is hard. How am I making it? It's like, I don't.
Well, because again, not to politicize this, you have the mayor of New York saying we need 35,000 ventilators. Right. And then you have the president saying that's too much. You don't need that. And I think the frustrating part is that I'm used to seeing, even in the midst of crises, the government pull together and work. 9/11, we saw it. You know, other times we've seen it. And I just want to use my platform and my voice as much as I can to just encourage people for now to just stay home if you can, you know, stay home.
I'm just more or less about the stay home initiative and the controlling the TV and really just like focusing on yourself, because if you don't, you'll go up and down in so many ways. And that physical stress, and mental stress, emotional, all those different forms of stress is only going to put you more susceptible to your immune system having to overwork itself to fight off things, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what you know, I get it when you tell me all these numbers, and that's good because it helps me like daily recognize where we're at. But I also see how I feel once I hear those numbers too. And that's not good, because now
and I think that's why I need to get out of feeling all the numbers, you know, but it's kind of hard when we're writing about the most tragic.
On your screen, right? Is that how you have it?
It's on my screen because we're writing about all of the tragedies happening all over the world all day long. And so, you know, it's consuming. But I mean, again, I think this daily check-in is great. It gives me a reason to get up, shower, get dressed, get ready. You know, being able to have Ayanla, we're going to start something on Wednesdays, and then Devon Franklin, I'm going to have him back yesterday was a really good day, and people really like these updates, you know. But also hosting the club online, you know, getting celebrities to go live to encourage their fans to stay in the house, you know.
Yeah. Yes, I'm so proud of you, Jason. I think I'm just encouraging to keep going, but I also am encouraging you just to monitor your balance. You know what I mean? Don't overwrite about all the stuff that's going on that's just driving us crazy, because that's only going to make us feel a little less like, you know, like we can.
Hopeful, yeah.
Yeah. So I just want you to, one, get on that treadmill, get to moving. You
For
know, if you
sure.
want to join my jump rope challenge, because you said you have a jump rope, it's 5 minutes a day, course
Where do we
corner
jump
jump.
rope? Outside or inside?
I
Can
do.
we
I
go
mean,
outside?
you can go outside, yes. Go outside, walk your dog, take a walk. However, you know what your space limit is, right? So you need to keep practicing the social distancing. But I do have gloves on, and I do practice cleaning every single thing as I move into that pattern of going in and out of the house. I spray my doors down with Lysol. I get to the shower and I take everything off right away. I don't wait and sit around and go eat first. Make sure I get out the clothes that I put on when I got, you know, when I get to the shower, and I wash them right away. People who don't
Right.
have the luxury of a washing machine and a dryer, you know, put all your stuff together. You can put it outside on the patio or in front house, and be able to make sure that everything is together and not just floating all around. So we really have to just be a lot more cautious, you know, a lot more careful with how we are going to move if we go outside to do things like work out and be in common space areas.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, but what do you want to leave the folks with until tomorrow?
I just want everybody to focus on feeling good, doing what you can control. Let's just keep feeling good, doing these things, the tips that we give. We share CMOS, we share the vitamin C and the Ds, you know, the things that really are going to help strengthen up our internal portion. But I encourage everyone to just be thankful for each day, but try not to set yourself up to feel so down at the beginning of the day, because then it kind of doesn't really give you a nice space to get more done. You know, find time to do all the things that we needed to be getting done at this point anyway. I keep looking at it as an extended spring break. I know that's a little bit of a challenge to see, but for me, I'm finishing up my last class of my doctorate program. We have school. Shout out to all the people who are still in school and finishing. You have to finish, you have to stay focused. These are all the small symptoms that really help us, you know, or not symptoms, but the things that help us to stay focused and on track. Stay hydrated, make sure that you're drinking enough water daily, and really just focus on feeling good and doing what you can control.
So I've gotten this question several times. Can we get the virus twice? You've answered this question though.
Yeah. You know, you can get it twice. There's a percentage, and it's a very small percentage that you can, but then there's also that percentage of people who thought they had it, some form of a virus, some form of the coronavirus, which there are several different ones. So you weren't able to get tested then. So sometimes that those numbers can be a little bit misconstrued, because you're not sure if that's what it was at the beginning when you first were feeling sick back a couple months ago or whatever. So yeah, there's a very small percentage, but from my understanding and my research and talking with the doctors just today about the same question, it is possible to get it again. Very small percentage of what we're seeing, but it's possible. It's a different
Right.
type of virus. There's so much stuff that we don't know yet. You know, we're usually a little bit more ahead on it. It's moving at a different pace. So we have to get the knowledge and the research in at a different pace as well. And so that's where we're at today, is talking about what happens when you feel like you had it once or you're getting it again, or, you know, looking at the numbers. It's not really a lot of research for the numbers that's showing that you can't.
All right, cool. Well, listen, Courtney, I will see you again tomorrow. I'll probably be texting you shortly today.
Okay, I'll be here for you. Keep doing what you got to do. Take care. Water, hydrate.
All right.
Cheers.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.